Good day, student. You're welcome to this presentation, examination-based contact class presentation for 2018, computer literacy. You see, I want to get something clear to you from the beginning of this presentation, because every program at IOL takes computer literacy. Now, this very presentation you are listening to now is for Diploma in Pre-Primary Education, DPPE CL11. Pre-Primary Education, Diploma in Pre-Primary Education, DPPE CL11, and Bachelor of Education, Senior Primary, BESP CL11. As you know, my beloved student, that computer literacy for DPPE and BESP is a year course, meaning you don't write 2 examinations, you write only 1 examination. 2 assignments, 1 examination. 2 assignments, 1 examination. Now, are you ready? Ready for what? Are you ready for the examination? Let me get you ready. First, this presentation is for April, August, and November examination, meaning there's not going to be a different presentation apart from this one for 2018 when we talk about examination. So this examination-based content class covers the entire year 2018. Also to be made clear is that this presentation is not a scope, it's a guide. So don't call and say or complain that Mr. Edu, how come I see a question that is not on your presentation? The presentation is not here to give you question. This presentation is to guide you, to prepare you for the examination, not to give you examination question paper. Congratulations, for those of you who pass your assignment, now you are qualified to write the examination. How many questions are you going to answer in your examination? You will be required to answer all the questions in your examination. I also acknowledge that some of you are writing this examination at the DPPE level, the pre-primary, for the second or the third time. I understand your pains. I understand the difficulties you face. But at the same time, we have to do or play the game according to the rules. And what is the rules? You must be examined, you must pass with a minimum of 50%. I understand some of you stay at the rural areas where you have no access to electricity or internet or computers. But there are IOL regional offices equipped with computers library where you can go and practice. You see, for you to become successful in everything you do in life, you have to take an extra step. You have to take an extra journey. So let's put aside those complaints. I have no computer, I've never worked on computer before. Let's put them aside. What can I do? What can you do? If you have no computer, you have no access to internet, look for the nearest IOL regional office and make use of the school, the college facility to practice. The examination covers the entire module. You know, computer literacy for the diploma in pre-primary and the BESP, you have 2 modules, module 1 and 2. With so many units, and all these are covered in the examination. What is going to be the format of the examination? The examination is going to have 15 multiple choice questions. You are going to have 15 multiple choice questions, of which you are expected to select one out of the 4 options. What I mean is, you see a question and it has 4 options, A to D. Read the question, look at the options and circle or underline the best one. In case you change your mind, please cancel and take another one. What next, apart from the 15 multiple choice questions to expect in the examination? There will be various questions asking you to define or explain. For example, define hardware, explain software, explain computer virus, define computer memory, explain computer mainframe, explain computer supercomputer, explain system application, define system software. These are various concepts, various words that you might be asked to explain. I wrote it at the end of this slide. This is not a scope. This is a guide. So don't think some of the examples I have given here are the ones that you will see. These are just examples, just to prepare your mind on what to expect. Beside this section, you are going to see a variety of compulsory questions of various lengths and difficulties, asking you to discuss, to examine, to justify, and so on. Where do we get these questions from? Where are your questions going to come from? As I mentioned in my previous presentation, the questions are with you at home. The questions are with you at home. But somebody is asking, my home. How come the question be with you at home? Yes, the questions are with you at home. Jesus Christ said, the kingdom is in your midst. What do I mean by the questions are with you at home? Open your study guide. If you open your study guide, what do you see? You see, for example, Unit 1, computer application. Just an example, computer application, or computer virus, or computer software, computer hardware, as the unit title. After that, what do you see next? Expected learning outcome. At the primary school level, you call it lesson objectives. So every unit has its own expected learning outcome. Things we are expected to know at the end of that unit. For example, define hardware. Examples of hardwares. Let's say those are your expected learning outcome written in that unit. When it comes to the examination time, a tutor will pick his or her questions from the expected learning outcome, because I want to see if actually you have learned. So I go back to my expected learning outcome and ask you again, what is a hardware? I go back to my expected learning outcome and ask you again, give me examples of hardwares. So when you read your study guide for this examination, do not just start studying. Look at your expected learning outcome. Those are the things. I will change 1 or 2 things and ask you the same question, because I want to see if you have achieved the competencies that are supposed to be achieved in that unit. That's why I said the questions are with you. So at the end of this presentation, when you get home, can you please look at your expected learning outcome and see if you can answer all those questions at your expected learning outcome? Can you really demonstrate, for example, demonstrate how to print a document? It's written at the expected learning outcome. Can you demonstrate it? At the end of the day, the student should be able to explain a computer virus. Can you explain it? All these are already there. And we don't go beyond or more than the expected learning outcome. What next? Let me guide you a little bit here how to approach the questions. Let's take a question, for example. The impact of computer in education is a question. For example, discuss the usage or the impact of computer in education. If you see a question like this, it is a specific question in education. Don't tell me here we can use the computer to watch movies. It has nothing to do with education. Don't tell me here I can use the computer to pay my bills. It is true you can use the computer to pay your bill, but it has nothing to do with education. So read the question thoroughly and in an understandable manner. Another thing you must pay attention to here, the question says the impact. If we use the word impact, an impact can be a negative one or a positive one. If I say you have really influenced me in my life, you have really influenced me in my life, you can influence me in a positive way. You can also influence me in a negative way. But if I say you have influenced me positively, then I know I'm going towards one area. If I say you have influenced me negatively, I'm going to another area. So if a question says the impact, it can be advantages and disadvantages. But if it says specifically the advantages, don't mention anything bad there. If it says the disadvantages, don't mention anything good there. And how do you answer the questions? I will tell you how to answer the question. Mention a point and discuss it. For example, the impact of computers in education. We know computer makes information available for everybody in education. So the first point I want to give to my tutor is 1, information. I write that word, information. I underline it. Then what do? I will explain everything about how computer makes information available in education. When I am done, I take another point. Oh, in education, what can I do with computers? It can be used to prepare, can you see that now? To prepare examination questions paper. Then I have to explain, I have to discuss what I mean. Can you see how to approach the question? Now, when the tutor is going to mark the question paper, he's going to give you 1 mark for this, telling me what I can do with computer in education. He's going to give you 2 marks, assuming the mark is 3. He's going to give you 2 marks for your discussion. Mention a point, discuss it. Mention a point, discuss it. But if you mention just the point without discussion, out of 9 marks, you get 1 mark. But to you, I gave him 3 points. But did you obey the rule? And what is the rule? Did you discuss? Did you argue your point? Did you examine? Did you justify? Did you relate? Did you examine? These are ways that we use in an examination. That is why in your examination, in your study guide, all these ways, they are already explained. You must go through them. They will guide you. You cannot be a Christian and you say you don't read the Bible. What is it that is going to guide you? You have to read your study guide. It's your Bible for computer literacy. You must read it from beginning to the end. Look at another sample question. Discuss the impact of computer in our society. This question is different from the previous one that says in education. Within our society, we have education. But is education the only thing we have in our society? No. We have the banking sector. We have the entertainment industry. We have the business sectors, and so many other sectors in our society. So if it says in our society, any area of our society is welcome. We can use computer in government. We can use computer in banking. We can use computer in entertainment. That is if it says in our society. Computer, internet, the use of internet. Can you identify some advantages of the use of internet? Can you identify the disadvantages of the use of internet? At times when I mark the examination script and I see a student telling me, when I ask a question, advantages of the use of internet, somebody tell me scamming. Is scamming an advantage? An advantage is something good. Disadvantage is something bad about it. So think about your point before you write it down. A disadvantage is something bad about it. Advantage is something you ask yourself, this thing that I'm writing, is it good or bad? If it is bad, then it's not an advantage. And it will always be good to give an example. It backs up your point. You see, it makes your point to stand very clear and very good. Using diagram to explain concepts. There are questions at times where we ask you, use a diagram to explain this. With the use of a diagram, discuss this. What does it mean, that type of a question? It means, number one, draw the diagram. Number two, label the diagram. That is, label all the components of the diagram. Number three, discuss all the components as labeled in the diagram. So if I draw a diagram, I label the diagram, then all the components that I already labeled in the diagram, I will explain all of them one by one. Not as a story. Take your things one by one, so that it makes it easier for the tutor to see your answer, so that the tutor does not begin to look for what you are trying to say. Don't mix up your points. Are you fine? Please be fine. This year you will pass, but terms and conditions apply. And what are those terms and conditions? Only if you pass. Only if you study. If you study, you will pass. If you listen to my instructions, you will pass. Those are the terms and conditions. Tell your neighbor, I will pass computer this year. Tell your friend, I will pass computer this year. I will not fail computer again. Let's continue. I'm going to test you again also on the basic computer operations. Basic computer operations. What I mean by basic computer operations? Can you remember the assignment I gave to you? There are some practical ways you did for me, of which you printed out. Now is the time for me to examine you. I want to see if actually you can work or operate a computer. For example, can you start a computer? Can you shut down a computer? Can you create a folder in a computer? Can you save a document in a computer? And when you save a document in a computer, can you see a difference between save and save as in a computer whenever you're saving your document? How do you print out your document in a computer? Do you have an idea? Do you know what gets me worried? When I ask in the examination, explain how to print a document in a computer, a student just leave it blank. But that same student who leaves that document blank for me, printed the assignment for me. So who printed it for you? I told you, print out this assignment. But you did not print it out. You asked somebody to print it out for you. Now I'm asking you to tell me how you printed it. You leave it blank for me. Can you see that some of the reasons why we fail is our fault? The assignment that was given to you is to prepare you for the examination. That is one of the purposes the assignment serves. So it's not just to pass the assignment. Were you involved? Examination time is the time to prove it. There will be questions on Microsoft Excel. Questions like number of columns and rows on a spreadsheet. How many columns can you find on a row? How many columns and row on a given spreadsheet? Can you identify a cell that contains a value? Can you identify a cell that contains a label? Can you use functions like sum, average, max, mean in Excel? If you practice with these things, then you will find it very easy to pass Excel. Excel is one area that gives you people, my student, problem. As a result of that, in this presentation, I have a sample question here about Microsoft Excel. Let's say, for example, you are given this in an examination. And what is it? Microsoft Excel with this table. Then the question comes like this. Name one type of formatting done on the above spreadsheet. How will you answer it? When we talk about formatting, we are talking about features of Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel that have been added to the document. So if I'm going to answer this question, formatting that have been added here, my numbers here are having 2 decimal places. The numbers here are having 2 decimal places. That is one formatting. Another formatting here is US dollar, the currency. I don't want to use Mr. US. The currency symbol is added. That is another formatting. Another formatting is the heading. Atlantic Primary School Windhoek is all in capital letter. It is bold. That is another formatting. Can you identify some formatting that have been added here? Let's look at another question. How many columns are used in this spreadsheet? To count your columns is very easy. My columns here are column A, column B, column C, column D, column E. How many columns are they? They are 5 columns. 5 columns I have here. Please, beloved student, some of you do count this place as a column. This is not a column. This one I'm pointing to. It's not a column. These are rows numbers. A column must have an alphabet. A column must have an alphabet. A column must have a column title. Can you see that now? Must have a column title. So you don't count these ones. This place as part of your column. These are just row number. Your columns start from A, B, C, and so forth. A question again comes. How many rows do you have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rows. Just write it down. A question again comes. Write down a cell that contains a value. Values are number. So any cell that has a number, write it. But a very point you must take notice of here is this. Don't give me more than 1 if I ask 1. It means we are not sure. Don't give me both correct ones and the ones that are not correct. It means we are gambling. We are not sure. We are just playing a game around. If I say, give me a cell that contains a value, be specific. Any cell that has a number. For example, cell C4, it has a number. Cell C5, it has a number. Just tell me. Don't tell me C4 to E8. You are not sure. You are just giving me a lot of them. C4, C5, C8. You are not sure. The same thing applies. If I say, give me a cell that contains a label. Give me a cell that contains a label. Labels are alphabet. Can you see any cell that has alphabet in it? Just write the name of the cell. Other similar questions are these. Before I talk about other similar questions, please pay attention to the way you write your cells. For example, we say cell A1. That is the correct way. Don't write it as 1A. This is wrong. Don't write it as A, then the one on top as a superscript. This is wrong. Don't write it like this as a subscript. This is wrong. Write it like this. This is the correct way of writing cells. These are some of the reasons that you get it wrong in the examination. What next should you pay attention to? In computer literacy, diploma in pre-primary, and the BESP CL11 in Microsoft Excel. The use of formulas, that one you cannot escape. It's a compulsory, necessary question that we ask in Microsoft Excel. The use of formulas. How do you use formula? How do you write your formula? To write your formula, you must have the equal sign. Let's take this example here. Question 4,1,5. Write down the formula used to obtain the value 60 in cell E4. I want you to tell me the formula that is in cell E4. What do you do here? Go to the spreadsheet, look for E4. This is E4. How do you know it's E4? It is in column E and row 4. E4. In cell E4, what do I have there? I have 60 in cell E4. I have 60 in cell E4. How did I get that? It was 12 multiplied by 5. So, how do you write the formula? You say equal C4. Why did I write C4? Because this 12 is in cell C of C4. Multiply, take note, this is our multiplication in Microsoft Excel. Multiply by cell D4. That is the formula. Don't write the numbers for me, write the formula for me. Here is another question that says, write down the formula that was used to obtain the numbers in cell E10. This is E10. Can you see? This is E10. If you look at E10, how did we get this value? All these numbers were added together to get this. So, for you to write the formula for that, you say equal sum. Sum is a function that we use in adding values together. That is numbers. Sum is a function that we use in adding values together. That is numbers. You say sum, open a bracket. I want to sum all these numbers together from E4 to E9. So you say sum equal, open a bracket, E4 to E9. Close the brackets. That is the answer to that question. A function, a formula that was used in cell E10. These are examples of how to write your formulas for me. You need to practice over and over and over before you can get used to it. Look at the question, the sample questions, and practice them so that you can get used to how to answer questions comes Microsoft Excel. What next should you expect in computer literacy for the pre-primary education and the Dppe&Besp CL11? There's going to be questions on email and internet. There's going to be questions on email and internet. Questions like, I want you to explain things like this to me. What is an email? Download, upload. These two concepts time confuses you. What does this mean to download, upload? At times when you open a Facebook account, there is always an instruction, please can you upload your picture, your profile picture. So what does it mean to upload? What does this mean to download? What about ISP, Internet Service Provider? What is the meaning of website, search engine, web browser? These are some of the terms, these are some of the words we use when it comes to the use of email and internet. Can you explain them? Do you know how to send an email? What if you are going to send an email and you need to attach a document to it? What are the steps? You see, when it comes to questions like this, that says, outline the steps on how to send a document, to send an email with a document, how to attach a document, outline. Just give me the steps. You don't need to write stories. Stories like, I will open Microsoft Outlook, then I will go to one place, then I will click on something, then I will see something, I will see one This is not history class. This is computer literacy. Tell me the steps. Step 1. Open Microsoft Outlook. Step 2. Click on new email. Step 3. Compose the email. Step 4. Attach the document to be sent. You see, tell me the thing step by step. Step by step. Then I will be convinced that you know what you're doing. Then writing a story for me. Now, still on email and internet. When somebody writes you an email, you can reply the person. Now, whenever you want to reply, there is this thing we call reply and reply all. Is there a difference between the reply and reply all? Can you differentiate between both of them? What it means to reply and to reply all? I want you to study all these things. In fact, what Mr. Edo is trying to tell you is you must practice how to send an email, how to receive an email, how to compose an email, how to attach a document when sending an email, how to reply, how to forward an email that was received by you. I will test all these practical experiences that you must have achieved from computer literacy. Are you there? Are you tired? Don't be tired. Wake up. Let's continue our class. What next should you expect when it comes to the examination? As I said at the beginning of my introduction, I told you that the examination covers the whole module, all the units. And one very important unit in your module is PowerPoint presentation. PowerPoint. What are the features of PowerPoint? Have you ever used PowerPoint before? Yes, because I gave you an assignment on it. If you say no, that you have not used PowerPoint before, then there is something wrong with that assignment you gave to me. Now, what are the features of PowerPoint? What are the uses of PowerPoint? What do we do with PowerPoint? Can you identify the screen features of a PowerPoint? Now, when you create a PowerPoint, there are things we add to our presentation to make it look attractive, to make it look presentable. Things, for example, like pictures. Things, for example, like videos. images. These are various things among others that we can add to our PowerPoint presentation to make it presentable. But how do you add them? Can you remember how you did the assignment for me? I'm going to ask you in the examination. So get prepared for it. Microsoft Word. You did an assignment for me, né? Using Microsoft Word. Who did the assignment? You? If it is you that did the assignment, why then are you worried? The same thing you have done and you have submitted to me, it's the same thing I'm going to ask you again. It's just like you prepare me a very nice food. Then I'm asking you, how did you prepare the food? You said, but I don't know how I prepared the food. But you told me you prepared the food. So somebody is deceiving one person here. So you told me you did the assignment because you signed at the back of your assignment booklet that this assignment was done by me. Now in the examination, I'm asking you the same thing. Nah? You see the logic out there now. That's why I always tell you in my assignment presentation, please, sisters and brothers, don't give it to somebody to do for you. Take your time to do it yourself. Now looking at Microsoft Word, what should you expect here? Are you going to do practicals in the examination? No. But your practical knowledge, your practical experience will be examined. What do I mean? Do you know how to save a document? I will ask. Do you know how to open a document? Do you know how to print a document? Do you know how to format and edit a document? Do you know how to check the spellings and grammatical errors within a document in Microsoft Word? How do you do all these things? I will ask you when it comes to Microsoft Word. Another very important area that most time students struggle with is a question that always says, identify the health problems, the health issues associated with the use of computers. You see, if you use computer all the time, there are these health problems that you're going to have. Edo is already having some of them, like eyes sight problem. Because I've been looking at the computer since 1999. I've been in front of the computer. You can imagine how many years old, which more or less must have affected my eyes. So I have to use the glasses to protect myself at times. Now this question, identify and discuss. Can you see the logic here now? First of all, identify what the problems are. Then discuss what the problems are. Then provide a solution. 3 questions in one. Now, a student that does not read properly will just tell me eyes problem, neck pain, obesity, muscles, and joint pain. Then you are done. You are only going to get 3 marks because you've only answered one area of the question. You have only identified the problems. You have not discussed the problems. You have not provided solutions to the problems. So first, identify. 2, discuss the problems. 3, what are the solutions when it comes to health issues associated? Unless the question says identify, then you can just list. But if the question says identify and discuss and provide a solution, 3 questions in one. How? What else can I tell you about this? Refer to your study guide for more details. Mr. Edo have been speaking for a long time now. What next? What now is for you to start your preparation today. And how do you going to prepare today? First, go through your assignment again. Look at the comment I made for you. Look at the way I made comment for you. Things you did wrong in the assignment, correct them. Number 2, take your study guide. Look at every unit. Look at the expected learning outcome at every unit and read them. Practice the questions that are at the end of every unit. Number 3, open IOL YouTube channels and watch, listen to the video presentations. Number 4, go to your student portal of IOL, download past question examination papers to see the format and how the question looks like and practice them. Number 6, which is not the last, start today to practice. Don't wait until 2, 3, 4 days to practice. It will be too late. I wish that you all pass. But can all of you pass? Yes, but terms and conditions apply. Only if you study. Only if you start today. I wish you all the best in your 2018 examination. If you fail once, don't give up. Start to prepare for the next examination. If you need my help, I'm available on 081 480 4091, or probably you can email me. I will reply you. Edo remains my name, your contact tutor for computer literacy. I wish you all the best. Good luck in your examination. Love you all.